Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'm going to speak on the bill, and I'm grateful for Representative King's leadership on the Education Committee. He was helpful to me on, and with Dr. Allen on this. But I want people to pay attention, because this is a really important issue. In the past, the state board has set curriculum standards in the state of Texas and has not relied on subject matter expertise. And as we are trying to prepare the workforce of the future for this state, as we're trying to come up with an educated citizenry, it's really important that our elected officials on the State Board of Education rely on subject matter expertise in setting these standards. It's very, very dangerous if we allow sort of political ideology of either Democrats or Republicans, because we don't know who's going to be in power in the future, to essentially call balls and strikes on what are facts and not facts in state board curriculum. Look, the students in the state of Texas should be learning standards based on science and based on expertise. We owe it to them, because they're not going to be competing on a political ideology test. They're going to be competing in a global marketplace of ideas where they need to be globally competitive. And when we bow to political ideology and we allow our state board to make political statements in the TEKS, which are our state standards, it is a very dangerous practice. Now, I know that is not the intent of Representative King. I know he brings this bill with only noble purposes and noble motivations. But we don't need to look into the distant past to figure out how things have gone awry with the state board. We had the Mexican American Studies textbook in 2016, members, that was last year, that lacked any thorough review by qualified experts or independent scholars, and it created hundreds of errors. Thankfully, the board ultimately rejected that textbook because of those errors, but it wasn't until there was a great public outcry and mobilization. When an SBOE social studies textbook, which was approved in 2015, identifies slaves as, quote, workers, as if they had any choice in the matter, that is very dangerous, members. But that's what the State Board of Education was to allow. Thankfully, the mother of a Texas student caught this error in her child's textbook, exposing the inadequate review process at the SBOE. Environmental science textbooks were also included no expertise to refute baseless claims that were not based on science. That happened in 2013. And in 2010, an SBOE appointed expert, quote unquote expert, argued that Cesar Chavez and Thurgood Marshall should be struck from a standard about good citizenship. Anybody who would make that claim, that Thurgood Marshall was not an exemplary and model citizen of the United States, really must have a political agenda in mind. So we must be incredibly vigilant on the State Board of Education standards. And I suspect this bill is going to pass by Representative King, but we cannot sit idly by and fail to exercise our legislative prerogative and our legislative oversight on these issues, because the future of a globally competitive workforce here in the state of Texas is at stake. So, members, I ask that we look cautiously at this issue and we take it with a great deal of seriousness.